NRCS is the federal agency that's there to help. Completely voluntary, but technical assistance is completely free. And putting a conservation plan together on your farm is free. And even our programs that we offer for best management practices, there is a cost share, but we're providing the majority of the funds to implement these practices. So I guess my advice is take the time and visit your local NRCS office and just talk to someone and let them come out to your operation and take a look. You're not under any obligation. There's no fee, just to take a look and see how we can help. Precision agriculture is really, really exciting, and I was at the Pheasant Fest in Chicago a couple weeks ago and actually got to speak at the Precision Agriculture Workshop. But the technology is fascinating, as you know, when you can look at say 100-acre field, and the technology, you can see those parts of the field that are the most productive soils and those parts of the fields that are the least productive soils. And especially if you've got parts along the edges that really aren't productive, how you can partner with one of our programs, whether it's CRP or some wildlife enhancements or some pollinator options, and you can actually be compensated to do some enhancements on parts of your farm that you're really not making money if you're farming it, but yet you can also be paid and do some really neat enhancements that have great benefits as well, protecting the environment and improving habitat. I mean, there are so many things that we can do for farming operations. I think a lot of folks probably aren't aware of the programs that are out there. So again, just encourage them to visit their district office and talk to someone and look at all the possible options that are out there.
Carbon sequestration and how no-till keeps it where we want it to be. How well does that ring? Yeah. How close do people understand that with regard to tillage?
That's a great question. I would say within the agricultural community, we probably have some more homework to do. But with the general population and the non-farm community, I think maybe they see the benefits a little bit more. Last week I had the chance to participate in a Politico Environmental Sustainability Forum. That was a really neat honor to have a chance to, because it was a national broadcasted program, and Politico is a pretty big player. So for them to put this program together and really focusing on the work agriculture is doing, especially as it relates to climate change and sequestration of carbon. I mean, I was proud to tell the story that good conservation does a long way towards helping control the climate change. And so there's a story to tell. I think, in my opinion, the non-ag sectors probably see that a little more than, I don't know how engaged the typical 60-year-old farmer in the Midwest is really engaged with the need for carbon sequestration, but clearly our conservation efforts are helping that and doing a good job. So I think there is a story to be told. I think for a lot of farmers, we want to protect the environment, we want to remain profitable, and certainly the carbon sequestration is a component of that also plays an important part.
So it's possible that the general public is paying more attention to this subject than our own farm.
Well, that would be my guess. I mean, I don't have any real proof of that, but I guess I don't hear a lot of farmers talking about the work that they're doing, say, with cover crops, because it's going to increase carbon sequestration. I mean, I don't really hear that conversation much. It's happening. I mean, it's happening, but I don't really hear that in conversation. Yeah. But yet you do hear that a little more with the non-farm community and looking at agriculture and the role that it plays in the big picture. So I think that certainly that could be a component of an incentive to help our producers want to do more. I think certainly there's some educational opportunities in that.
So, when you look at the water issue and no-till's role in that,
it's huge.
What comes to mind?
Well, it's huge. I mean, protecting soil runoff and sediment getting into our waterways, gosh, I mean, no-till and cover crops do so much to help reduce that. And so I think, again, we have two issues with water. I mean, you know, the folks in the West are really focused on water quantity and how do we conserve it. And then in other parts of the U.S., it's water quality and how can we make sure that the quality of that water, and certainly reducing the phosphorus and the nitrogen leaching into the waterways is a big part, but the sediment reduction is a very big component as well. And the less you disturb the soil, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, the less you disrupt the soil, you know, the less soil erosion you're going to have. So I think that no-till farming and especially the use of cover crops go a long way towards being able to reduce that erosion and reduce the sediments that are taking place in our waterways.